Alright, ladies and gentlemen, version 3 is nearly upon us. We're already in 2025 and there has been a certain team which has been around for a long time but hasn't gotten much love. And no, I'm not talking about Blade, even though Blade is the front and center of this channel. Nope, this time we're actually going to be talking about DOT. Everyone seems to love talking about DOT, so what we're going to do today is we're going to be testing out a premium DOT team, at least to the best of my ability, because I don't have a Huahua, so we're going for aventurine instead. And then we're going to be seeing how well that compares to a DOT Acheron team, seeing which one is the better one to run, as well as, is DOT, having a bit of a discussion on whether DOT's worth pulling in 2025 when we're moving on to version 3. So yeah, that being said, let's just hop right into it. Alright, and here we are in the first chamber. Well, actually, we're technically only doing our first chamber. We're here in our first run with our premium DOT team. Well, I say premium DOT team, technically not, because Huahua would technically be the better sustain here. It is slightly annoying that aventurine is bugged right now, and still is. I really hope that they fix that for version 3, because, I cannot handle any more of this. Although I'm not gonna lie, I know Huahua is supposed to be the best in slot support for DOT, and I mean she definitely is, but at the same time I feel like the DOT team's HP pools tend to be quite low. Like for me, I prefer a healer if the HP pools are like minimum 3.5k on average, if not like 4,000 above. But obviously Huahua does. I mean, DOT doesn't exactly hit that, so I actually rather run a preservation unit with DOT. I feel more secure with it. But then aventurine's bugged, so that kind of goes out the window a bit. Also, SP points are kind of a big thing in DOT. Now, what I will say is gameplay will not be perfect because I have not played DOT in so long. The only variants I have played are kafka DOT, which obviously we will be trying out later on. Now, the question is, what should we do? I think I'm just going to get my ult here on blackswan, and we should be able to take all of these guys out, or at least the trotters, because if you guys saw the last Memory of Chaos run, you know that if your character doesn't deal more damage than the trotters to the bosses, which is 140k per trotter, because if you see here, you have 283k, so that's 141,500 roughly per boss. Now we do get the Robin ult and do all of this once again, which is very fun. So yeah, you definitely want to focus the trotters when they are up. I'd say that's probably your best chance for success. Now in this team, we shouldn't have to focus them too much because we should be able to hit them with our Kafka ults, which we get regularly enough. Now I do wish that we could skill on our Black Swan all the way. I wonder if they'll ever like introduce a harmony unit for DOT, which is like really SP positive, because that would be very helpful for making DOT better. I know a lot of people say that we need a better support for DOT, but I actually feel like we need a dedicated DOT sustainer, and that's what I feel like. I don't know exactly how that would work, but I think that would be cool, and it's also a fun way to make interesting sustainers rather than ones which just, power creep existing sustainers. Poor Luocha can't handle any more power creep, but anyway, I think we're doing an okay job right now here in taking out the waves. Now, we haven't taken out that other trotter yet, but we shouldn't have to. I'm just going to basic here because I really don't want Robin to get CC'd, because that would be quite the problem. Okay, that trotter's gone down. Now we're going to target this one. It should... I mean, this is definitely going to be enough. I mean, yeah, our skill only did 16k there, which is unlucky. Although we didn't really have any dots built up there, so, damage in a DOT team works very differently to damage in a traditional crit team. Now we run into a slight problem where we really want to make sure that we clear this in the 28th cycle. Should be able to. Now, the guy on the right does have more HP, which is why I tend to focus him a bit more, although this does sometimes leave us with, a bit less HP than we'd like. Okay, of course, you crowd control our Black Swan, and now we have nothing to do other than ult on Robin, which, I would have preferred saving for the next half, but I suppose we've got to do what we've got to do. And a basic, okay, a basic's not going to be enough. Another basic, okay, that was enough. Our Black Swan doesn't have her shield right now, so we do need to be careful of keeping our team alive. You know what, any sustained problems, I'm just gonna blame on aventurine, and like I said, I also feel like that's still the one issue of DOT. It's not like a super skill point hungry team, but it's not something like a Blade team, for example. And I actually did really want to run Blade for this first half. I actually got such a good clear on the first wave. We cleared it incredibly quickly with a team of Blade, Sunday, Robin, and Luocha. but then the problem was that Blade's the only one in that team who can break the hand's weakness, and every single time he just kept getting captured, and I just ended up, when I did get a run, it wasn't that good of a run, so I just decided, you know what, it's not worth it. I was thinking of comparing a Super Break Blade to a Hyper Carry Blade, just to see which one would perform better in this Abyss. It was definitely the Hyper Carry Blade. I actually think Blade can be good here if you have Jade, because this is a very AoE-centered Memory of Chaos, because obviously the two most recent DPS characters have been AoE DPS, because you've had Rapper, and next you're gonna have the Herta, so yeah, MOC is more AoE-centered than it would be right now, which is why Jade and Blade makes for a better team now than it traditionally would, and Jade could also hit the hand, so yeah, you get to hit the Trotters, so you don't have to focus them too much, so you can do extra damage on the enemies, so yeah, Blade x Jade would be very good if you have yourself a Blade. Okay, now the issue is here, I really want to get blackswan out of there. Now we will be able to do that with the Kafka ultimate. We should be fine. Yep, 161k there on the ult and 283k from the Trotter. Just gonna focus down Svarog a little bit more because obviously he has the higher HP pool. But yeah, like I said, because my blade runs weren't working, because Hyper Carry Blade was a bit annoying because of the hand. I mean, this Memory of Chaos is just so annoying. Yeah, I have decided to compare DOT to Acheron DOT most recently, and you know, it is kind of on time because don't kill our Black Swan, please. Don't do that. I'd really rather you not. Okay, let's see. I can only hope that we'll be fine and that we don't take too much damage. I mean, we can stack up a lot of shield here thanks to our aventurine. I mean, look how much shield does the rest of the team have, and then you just have, you know, Black Swan, who's nearly dead and has the lowest shield. So yeah, please fix aventurine Hoyo, thank you very much. Okay, Svarog actually has quite a bit of dot stacked on him, so he should take a fair amount in his turn. 75k, we'll take that. Okay, thank you for not hitting our Black Swan. She still has quite a fair bit of shield up right now, which is very good for us. Got her ult as well, once again, good stuff. Okay, I am gonna kind of have to use my Kafka ult here. It would have been nice if we could have Robin ulted, but oh well, it is what it is. 155k on the ult. The Trotters, since we do have Robin's ultimate, I don't know. You know, I'm just going to focus this Trotter because we're going to do less damage to the Wind weak one than we are the Lightning weak one, and I don't think we're going to get our ult on our Kafka anytime soon. So yeah, I am probably just going to full focus the Trotters. Ouch. Not very kind. Okay, that's the hand gone, luckily. Okay, we get our Aventurine's ult. Very good, very nice. Trotters should probably go down to dot, although I suppose better safe than sorry. Okay, that's Robin's shield gone now. Okay, that's... Oh, are you kidding me? You just about survived? I mean, oh well, what can you do? Too bad. Okay, yeah, probably best to target Svarog here. 50k, 280k total. That Trotter this time should go down to dot. I know the last one lived on 1 HP, but we should be fine here. And yep, 283k. And okay, nice bit of dot damage there as well. Hand comes in, use Kafka's ult so that it's left one shot. So if we really want, we could technically basic attack it. Now, because this run is looking like it's going to take us a little bit longer, I'm not going to include the full Acheron run, I feel like, because the Acheron run's probably going to be stronger, let's be honest. But, you know, how do I feel about dot right now? I mean, this is probably the best best MOC we've had for dot in a while. So I feel like you can pull for dot if you're willing to invest in it more, or pull for Acheron. I'll talk about that a bit more on the Acheron side, but yeah, I mean, this MOC is very annoying, but at the same time, it's, like I said, it's probably the best one we've had for dot in a long time. Now, you guys are very free to, you know, leave your votes down below. Just keep it respectful, please. You know, I know there are some dot super fans, and don't not get me wrong, Kafka and blackswan are two of my favorite characters in this entire game. I actually used to love running dot so much. Like in the early days, Dot was guaranteed on one side, and then the other side would be one of Dongheng, Imbibe to Lune, or Jingliu, or Blade, of course. So yeah, those were my OG days. So I very much love Dot. I mean, I don't love it as much as I love Blade. But you know that should be kind of obvious. But yeah, so I'm not trying to slander Dot here. I just want what's best for it, you know. Okay, 23% on Svarog, 22%. We might be able to do this here. Okay, actually, I'm gonna use Robin here before the hand because if I don't want any of my characters to get stolen before the hand comes back up. Okay, unfortunately, we're a bit short on skill points, so I couldn't use a skill there on blackswan as much as I wanted to. 167k there. Does Svarog have the defense down? I don't even know. Okay, Trotter goes down. 6% left on Svarog. 5%. Please, 4%. And okay, he's on 3%. Great. We're on the 23rd cycle, which, I mean, isn't the end of the world if you have a good second half. Obviously, we're not going to do the second half here. This is just a demonstration of how good Dot is in the first half. But, yeah, 23 cycles. It's not ideal. I feel like it probably could be 24 cycles. Like, with slightly better investment, maybe if you have a Huohuo instead of aventurine, better relics, better light cones, then maybe you can get an E0S0 dot team to do 24 cycles, although you might struggle to go for 25 cycles. But with that being said, let's just move on to the Acheron half and then some more thoughts there. Okay, and here we are on the second half with our Dotcron team. Now, Dotcron is one of my favorite teams in the game, especially with aventurine, because this means that I get to use 4 pieces of eye candy, let's say that, because Acheron, Blackswan, and Kafka are probably my 3. Are you kidding me? Okay, slightly annoying there, but you know what? We'll just go again. It happens sometimes. Okay, well, let's just hope for better RNG this time. Yeah, as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by getting crowd control. This is one of my favorite teams to play in the game. Now, is it the best Acheron team? No, but is it very fun? Yes. And is it good in this MOC? Yes, it is. Now, obviously, I don't want to spend too long on the second half, so I'm probably going to clear the first half so that you guys can kind of compare between the two. But, you know, I don't want to go too long because, you know, first of all, you know, I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time. And second of all, I think you guys should be able to get the memo real quick. So with that being said, what do I think about Premium Dot? I think, you know, if you're going to invest in it, you know, maybe get a E1 on Blackswan, S1 on Kafka. I think those are 2 of the better upgrades. I mean, first of all, I'd recommend getting an upgrade for Robin, but that's assuming that Robin doesn't get replaced by another Harmony character, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen yet, so I think an E1 Robin would be a decent bet. So, you know, like an E1 Robin, S1 Kafka, E1 Blackswan. Sure, that will destroy this current MOC. I'm sure, you know, people are getting like 2 free cycles with that. Maybe like 4 on the lower end side. Also, you know, if you pick up a Huohuo instead of aventurine, like I've mentioned before, then, you know, that would be great. But if you're not, then, I mean, you can go E0S0 if you're going to play them with Acheron. It's not going to be the best team, but whenever Dot's good, Dotcron will also be good just because Acheron is so strong of a unit and, you know, they generate a ton of her stacks for her. And they also still do okay damage, so, you know, it's not going to be insane, but it's still going to be pretty decent. Again, Huohuo would also be good on that team. I'm personally running aventurine on Trent so that we can squeeze in a few more Acheron ults. So, yeah, like I said, if you're going to invest in Dot a lot because you really like the characters, or if you're going to pull for Acheron. Now, one thing I will say is, obviously, it's your guys' account. Just pull for whoever you like. That's most importantly. But I'm just talking like from a meta standpoint. I always recommend, you know, pull your favorite characters, pull their best in slot supports, and if you really like them, then you can pull for their Eidolons and their what's it called? Their Eidolons as well as their Lycons. There you go. Things are escaping me. And like I said, we did just clear that in 1 cycle. It wasn't a 0 cycle in the first half. It was a 1 cycle, but still, I think Dotcron is very strong now. Obviously, like I said, Dotcron won't always be this strong. I think it's a decent team to guarantee you 5 to 6 cycles if your teams are E0S0. Now, all my character builds will be at the end, like I mentioned. My dot builds, they're probably better than some people's, but they're also going to be worse than some people's. Like, it might be better than the people who haven't touched Kafka and Acheron. Kafka and blackswan since like version 1, but it's not going to be as good as the dedicated dot mains. So yeah, dot has a place in 2025, although I don't think it's going to be top of the meta until either they get a new sustain or a new harmony unit, although I personally would prefer a brand new sustainer. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. And I mean, I will just let this play out a little bit longer. Like I said, that's my personal thoughts. You guys, I think, first of all, let me know how you found Kafka and blackswan in this Memory of Chaos. Let me know whether you're running them in an Acheron Swan team, or if you're running them maybe with a Jiaocho, or if you're just going the Robin route. You know, how many cycles are you able to clear in? Although I think you should note your investment levels. So, you know, if you guys have questions, then look towards the comments. You might find some of your answers there. When it comes to my POV, like I said, if you either really like them, if you're really going to invest in them, or if you're going to play them with Acheron. But to be fair, if you do, I would pull Acheron for Dot. I wouldn't pull Dot for Acheron. So if you already have an Acheron and you're looking for good supports for her, definitely Jiaocho. Jiaocho is stupid OP for her. And then Blackswan is a good addition as well, especially for Pure Fiction, but although you would probably prefer a Pela. Though I just get the feeling like in version 3 we will get a good Acheron support, because I don't think there's any way they will, you know, not keep the Raiden Mei on the top of the meta for quite some time. For me, honestly, I found Acheron to be my savior this Memory of Chaos, because she is so good on the first half, but because of her AoE capabilities, she's also really good on the second half. I just feel like she's all around the best character for all 3 game modes. It's like Firefly can work in all 3 game modes, but I feel like her specialty is in MOC and Apex Shadow. Like, she's good in Pure Fiction, but you're just better running like a Himiko, or even like a Break Lingsha, I think is better than a Firefly in Pure Fiction. And then Fei Xiao, again, MOC and Apex Shadow. But then I feel like Acheron is just like the queen of all 3 game modes. So yeah, that's my thoughts. If you have a dot core, then Acheron can be a very good pickup if you want to make your dot team more relevant and you don't want to pull for Eidolons or Lycons. So would I say that dot is worth it for free-to-plays? Again, depends how much you like them. If you're brand new, never played Acheron Kafka, or never played Blackswan Kafka, and you really like them, and they're the reason why you're playing the game, then yeah, pull them, because, you know, you like them. I feel like that's what it comes down to most of the time. You don't have to care too much about meta, and I think our Acheron is gonna go down here, so maybe this is a good time to call it quits. I mean, I'm going to try stick it out as long as I can, because I do want to see how fast of a clear we can get here. I mean, we're doing much better than the dot team was right now. I mean, I think the first half showed that, and our performance right now in the second half is showing that as well. So yeah, I mean, the other guy is nearly down. We can basically guarantee him going down. 2 of the trotters are nearly down as well. I think I'll let this cycle play out, and then we'll see what happens. I mean, yep, and Svarog has 33% HP left. Acheron's probably going to go down here. I mean, we'll see. If we... Okay, 54k from the dot there. Okay, of course he punches her, and okay, he attacks her 2 times in a row when we literally have a preservation unit. I don't know why he's done that. But you know what, it is what it is. We're on to the 25th cycle. You know, I would expect, like, I think for a Acheron, a Dotcron team, you can expect like 25, 24 cycles, and then for a Kafka Swan team, you can expect about 24, 23 cycles. So I'd say the Acheron team is probably one better than the premium team. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the matter. And with that being said, let's just move on to the character builds and the outro. Well, then, as you can see, Dot, you know, it's okay right now. It's definitely not top of the meta. If you want to pull for meta in version 3, you're better off going for, you know, probably the version 3 characters. Summon meta is probably going to be a thing. And then obviously you still have the staples like Fei Xiao, Firefly, just Super Break. You know, there are some busted teams right now in the moment, and unfortunately Dot isn't one of them right now, although it's still serviceable. So I'd say if you want to go for it, don't feel too bad. Literally just, like I said, play whatever you enjoy. But yeah, you've probably heard me say that a million times, and you're probably going to hear me saying it more when it comes to responses. Now, when it comes to our character builds, real quick, our Kafka is on 3,785 attack, 143 speed, and then, you know, this is how her stats are looking when it comes to effect hit rate. When in the premium team, she is on Acheron's S3 Lightcon, whereas when we were playing with Acheron, she was on a S1 Lightcon. Traces, mostly maxed out. Relics, this is how they are looking. I was farming them for a very, very long time, but they're still not perfect, especially the planar ornaments, but I'm at a point where I'm like, you know, I can't really justify putting more into her pieces as much as I would like to. And then here is our blackswan. She does hit over 120 EHR. She is on an S4 Eyes of the Prey. Traces fully maxed out again. Relics farmed for a very, 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 very long time. And yeah, we do also have her on the Pan-Cosmic set, so, you know, we are trying our best out here, E0, and then when it comes to our Robin, 122 speed, nearly 4k attack, 3850. This is how some of her other stats are looking. She is on the S5 event Lightcon, which obviously everyone can get free now. This is how her traces are looking, you know, a little bit of HP missing, and then we're on a 2-piece attack, 2-piece speed, because that will allow us to run attack boots while still hitting at least 121 speed, and then also on the Von Wax set, just because those were the best substats I could get for attack. And then for our Acheron, 3616 attack, 107 speed, 74 crit, 156 crit damage, although obviously that does go up thanks to her relic set. Like I said, S3 good night sleep well, traces mostly maxed out. Also does not have the best relics, despite the fact that I also farmed incredibly long for her. And it's also the planar ones, which are again letting us down, and then she is E0. I literally don't know how I've ended up with a very good Fei Xiao when all of these units have been out for longer, but they have inferior builds. Anyway, for our aventurine, he's on nearly 4,000 defense. Actually, when he was on the premium DOT team, he was on this build, so he was on about 4,100 defense. There you go. And then on the Acheron variant, he is on trend, so that we can get a few more procs, which is why he does have 35 effect hit rate, just so that we can, you know, get more usage from that. And then he is also on the night set, full defense. Any defects when it comes to shielding, we can probably just point on the glitch. But yeah, with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed, found it helpful. Leave your thoughts down below. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time, and see ya.